Hello and welcome to the Best Flarking Podcast, a place where we, like God, do not play with dice and do not believe in coincidence. I'm Dunners to some, and with me, as always, is Reej. Reej, do you know where that quote's from?
I do not. Could you please tell us all?
It's from V for Vendetta. It's a movie.
But before it was a movie.
It was a screenplay.
I love that movie.
It's a solid movie. I don't know if that line's actually in the movie, though.
Oh.
I can't remember if it is.
Homework.
I guess I'll just have to watch the movie again? Oh, jeez.
No, it's such a terrible thing.
Yeah. So what's new, man? What's going on? What's new in your world?
What is new in my world? A lot of good comic book stuff this week. That's new. Other than that, just hanging out, living life, loving everything, having a good time, enjoying the weather out here. How about you, man? What's new in your world?
Oh, man. Same. Lots of new comic stuff, hanging out. Just, I played through the new-ish Tomb Raider over the weekend. I found myself with some time to play a video game, and I chose to play a backlog game and crush Tomb Raider, and I loved it. So that was really good.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
You mentioned new-ish, and I immediately went to the one coming out in November, and I'm thinking, how in the hell? But you're talking about the one before.
Yeah, the one in like 2013 or whatever it was. That was a great game. Great game. I loved it.
That's what I hear. Haven't played it myself, but
I also played a bunch of Rocket League, and I'm addicted to that. So if any of our flarkers out there, which is what I've decided we are calling our people who listen, our mother flarkers.
Mother flarkers.
So we can work in the title of the podcast. If you guys play Rocket League, man, like leave me a comment so I can add you on Steam or PS4, and we'll be bad at Rocket League together. Unless you're good, then don't add me because I'm terrible. I'm gonna bring your rank down.
Yeah, well, let's put those out there. I'm Reegmatic on Xbox Live, ReegMatic. If anybody wants to get down on some Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, anything. Destiny, even though, well, we all know how I feel about that one, but
You love it.
I do. It's Stockholm syndrome. I'm in love with my captor. But yeah, I'm only on live. You're on more things than I am, Dunners.
I am, but I have magically secured the same name across all platforms. I'm just A Dunners on everything. ADUNNERS on PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam for us PC Master Racers out there.
Speaking of which, today, did you see that somebody had modded and added Hulkbuster as a something in GTA 5? I don't know how that stuff works, but I'm assuming it's on PC, given that it's a mod. But yeah, somebody's got Hulkbuster running around the GTA 5 world. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I mean, not somebody. You can just go get it.
What?
You can just go on Steam and go get it. There's Hulk, there's Iron Man, there's Batman, there's all sorts of stuff. There's like the people have patched in the Just Cause grappling hook from Just Cause 2, so you can grapple over the place. Yeah, mods are super sweet. I mean, like Skyrim. Did you like Skyrim?
I did.
There are mods for Skyrim that are made by people that add hundreds of hours of quests and storylines to the game.
See, when can we get that type of community on a console?
Well, supposedly that's going to happen with Fallout 4. I don't know how well that's going to be implemented, but that's supposedly the look is that Fallout 4 will have mods that can work on console as well as PC. It's just kind of funny because it's like, oh yeah, mods, man. You gotta love them.
You do. Well, and not to mention that Marvel's gaming universe has kind of completely moved over to PC and Mac, it looks like, with Marvel Heroes, and no word of an Ultimate Alliance sequel.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get one because of Marvel Heroes, which I'm actually kind of bummed out at myself because I have Marvel Heroes and I don't play it very often, but I do try and log in when they're giving away like a hero I want or access to a hero I think is neat. And basically, I missed out on getting Ant-Man during all the hoopla for the Ant-Man movie. I did manage to snag him in Marvel Puzzle Quest, though. So I got Ant-Man in Marvel Puzzle Quest, and I have all the Marvel mobile shit. I have Puzzle Quest, Champions, and Future Fight. I have all three of them because, they're all like freemium deals. So
Right.
like when I run out of turns in one, I just swap to the next one. And then so in Puzzle Quest, I am also very proud of myself because I finished in like the top 10 in a tournament. So I got a bunch of like 4-star Deadpools this week. So I'm like, all right, I'm living the Puzzle Quest dream. I'm the Puzzle Quest champion of the world, or well, 10th best.
Hell yeah! I got me a 3-star Magic on Contest of Champions this week.
Nice, dude.
I was thoroughly impressed with that.
I ended up pulling down 2-star Iron Man and 2-star Rhinos. So now I have Silver Star Iron Man and Silver Star Rhino. I don't really know what that does other than like unlock an ability or whatever. But I'm still just rocking Deadpool because I have that 3-star Deadpool.
As you should.
That's my guy.
Even if he was 2 stars, just rock him.
His 3rd level ability is hilarious. It's great. Like when you get to that 3rd like power bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And you activate it, he like gets a phone call on his cell phone, and he like stops the fight, answers the phone, and then he's like on the phone talking, and then you see your opponent gets really annoyed, so Deadpool just pulls out a gun and pops him in the head.
I love those cutscenes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But should we throw down? Should we throw down on this Wayward Pines and get it all sorted out?
Let's do it. I mean, we'll have to... I think your memory is a little bit better than mine. We'll have to go back to the beginning on some things. But yeah, we both watched it. And surprisingly, for the first time ever on the Best Flarking podcast, we have opposing opinions.
One of us is right, and one of us is Reach on this one.
Oh, dig it.
So, that being said, I really liked Wayward Pines. I liked the Twin Peaksiness of it. I liked that it didn't really feel like Shyamalan doing his thing, and he crushed it. I thought he did a great job with every episode. I really did. That's just my basic overview of it. Since it'll be easier, since disliking things tends to lodge the memories in further than liking them. What didn't you like about Wayward Pines?
I loved everything up until pretty much the big reveal, and then once that all came into play, the flashbacks as to why this was happening. Speaking of which, spoilers to anybody if you're watching Wayward Pines now. Turn this off. We're going to be talking about things or just fast forward. Don't turn us off. Just fast forward. We'll be talking about things in the last episodes and how it ended and stuff like that. So to me, back to that, the flashbacks of how this was happening seemed a bit confusing. I never felt really threatened by what this scientist was sort of trying to make the world see that is coming up in the future, that we're all going to turn into these things regardless, and just don't even give us a chance. My brain just immediately shut down, and I'm going, oh my god, is this Scientology? Is this a cult? Is this is this just the greatest kidnapping in the world of 2,000 people and cryogenically sleeping them for 2 millennia and not even giving anything a chance to work its way out or even help towards something better? You just want to wake up when shit's done? It didn't make much sense to me, and like I said, though, I loved everything up to that point. Like you said, the Twin Peaksiness, all of that was super intriguing. It was only when they did the flashbacks, and I felt confused. Never felt threatened, though. Did you honestly feel threatened?
Well, I don't think the intention was to feel threatened. I feel like the idea of the flashbacks in the beginning were a smokescreen, because you were supposed to think that he was abducted and he was just in this town, as opposed to abducted, frozen for 2,500 years, and then brought back to life. And I feel like that was kind of lost season 5-ish, in that they were doing a misdirect. And I feel like once they established that as a storytelling device, they went back to it to further kind of tell about the other characters involved in the show. And I really like the idea of his boss at the FBI, and then, coming back around to showing him as one of the first survivor group.
Yeah.
He's trying to, escape, and then they murder him for showing that like you don't get to escape even if it's the right look. So I felt that the only thing that was really truly scary that made me scared for anyone on the show was the fact that they were all willing to just publicly execute people
Yep.
for breaking the rules. And I was like, oh shit, there's like, it's like a mass mellow psychosis amongst all these people that they just like follow the rules and everything will be okay.
Yeah, when they all share in prayer.
Yeah, and it's just like this crazy thing, and then like deifying was it Toby Jones. It's tough for me because he was in a movie called was it, oh Jesus Christ, Your Highness, with Danny McBride and James Franco.
Oh, I've seen that, but I can't remember a thing of it, probably because I was the same.
He plays a character named Julie, and they pull his pants off at one point, and he's a familiar, so he has no genitals. So the rest of the movie they just call him Dickless Julie, and that was the first movie I've ever seen him in. And so anytime I see him in something, even when he was Arnim Zola, me and my wife were at, we were at Captain America, and he shows up on screen as Arnim Zola, and I'm like, I lean over and just go, Dickless Julie's Arnim Zola. And my wife's like, yes, I know, it's Dickless Julie. I'm like, Dickless Julie.
Just a reminder.
I was just super excited about it. So, like, the only thing that was really scary was watching him turn into this, like, crazy person who, it wasn't about saving the world, it was about saving the world in the way that he thought it should be saved.
Yeah.
And killing anyone who didn't want to share his exact vision of it. And that, like, and watching as a character study, I loved it, like, watching Matt Dillon go from, I need to get out of this town, I gotta get out of this town, I gotta get out of this town, to now I'm the sheriff and I'm upholding the rules, to the dude I'm working for is a fucking psycho and I've got to kill him. And I was like, that's a really great arc. And then on top of which, watching like Juliette Lewis's character have like a little mini arc of like, oh cool, she's gonna be the one who helps him, and his friend from the FBI is actually in on it or something, and she's gonna screw him over. And then Juliette Lewis gets murdered, and I'm like, holy shit, what's gonna happen? Like, what is the show? Where's it going? And then watching like the Resistance Force, like I loved like all like the harbingers for stuff, the fence, like when he finds the fence and it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
Like, you know, and all these things. There are downsides to the show. I don't think the Abbeys are a particularly dangerous villain.
No.
Like, I don't think they are, because it's like, they're dangerous in the same way that like a bear is dangerous.
Right.
And then it's like, you don't want to get caught one-on-one with a bear, but if you have a machine gun,
you're kind of okay.
You're probably going to be fine. And it's like, sure, they're fast, but they're not, their skin's not like resistant. They're still at the core of an evolved human. They're faster and they have like sharp teeth and they're animalistic. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like we probably would just kill them if anything came down to it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, then it really comes down to the story of like, he's keeping everyone in the dark on purpose because the first time it didn't go so well. And after that, it's like, all right, it has to be exactly the way I want it or no way at all. And then I really like the Children of the Corn aspect of the first generation. These kids are like Village of the Damned, Children of the Corn type fucking crazies, dude.
Yeah, they were.
And it's just like, they brainwash Matt Dillon's son, and like then he's like, oh shit, I was basically brainwashed. This is crazy. I can't even believe this. Like, it's so crazy to the point that like their adult liaison is trying to set up that cute biracial girl into like seducing him to be her husband when they're like 15.
Well, and therein lies my confusion is the either multiple kind of things that are trying to be presented here, and the fact that we have this dystopian future happening where shit is just all messed up and humans don't even exist anymore. We're Abbeys now. Or is this the sort of just disgustingness of what man can turn into given they're on their last chance or last leg? This lady, the one that you just spoke of, the teacher, basically advocating teen sex just for the the future of the human race or whatever, and trying to set people up and then go against parents and everything else that goes along with that, or this guy and like you said, having this future but only on his terms. Is that what this was about? This terrible man with just this psychotic behavior of, damn it, it's my way or the highway, and I'm willing to mark out everybody who opposes me and start over if you do so. I couldn't fully focus on one thing. There was just too much happening, and the kids, and his son was actually the first one to point out the logic and the flaws in the logic of what was happening there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say that it does suffer from clutter, but so many of the shows that I really like suffer from clutter. Like Lost is one of my favorite shows.
Dude, that show was like a bad ex-girlfriend.
You didn't like Lost? Or
no, I loved it. You just it ended with no explanation.
Oh, dude, I thought it see, and now we're gonna go into a different thing. But I loved how Lost ended. That made me so happy that that's the way that it ended.
Okay. To be
Go
fair, I've only watched the ending once, so knowing that, I should go back now at this older age and much wiser, of course. I should go back and watch it just for a second opinion.
I just dig the idea of the concept of heaven is in fact a place on earth that needs to be protected from the people that it protects. And I think that's a really neat idea with Lost, and that the island houses the afterlife. That's awesome. I think that's a really, really awesome concept. And then on top of which, I think there's a really neat moment that I think sums up everything. Every single character's motivation and arc is summed up the way that they're supposed to be summed up in that final season as we get to the end in Lost, as we deviate from Wayward Mimes.
Right. Well, they have a lot of similarities, though.
Lost is the better show, but there are moments that I really, really loved, Michael, when he's a ghost, coming to Hurley, telling him he can never leave the island. He's trapped there in purgatory forever because of what he did. I was like, that's a great ending, because not because he comes up and he's like, I can't leave, and people are like, you should be punished because you murdered those people. It's beautiful because of how it ends with him and Hurley there, as Hurley's turning to leave, and he's like, hey, for what it's worth, and I know it's not worth anything, but I am truly sorry for what I did. And then watching Hurley forgive him and being like, that's a really great moment. That, as far as I'm concerned, the season 7 was not 7, season 6 is just one long ending that all the characters are getting wrapped up. And in the very last episode, with them ending in the church, the religious undertones of whatever, that whole series is filled with them. So people being outraged about it ending in a Unitarian church is whatever. But when Jack goes in, he sees his dad, and he's in the church, and he's like, it's like a dad talking to his young son, and it's like, what? He's like, I was on the island and I protected the island. It's like, and what happened? What happened, Jack? I died, Dad. I died. And his dad embraces him, and it's like he failed, and his dad still hugs him, and it's like, it's all right. You did your job. You did exactly what was required of you. Everything's safe. Everything's gonna continue forward. Now go on. You've deserved your rest. The end for him. So I really like the ending. Maybe I'm just a sap.
No, but, I have to go back and watch it. I was in a different place when I was watching that show. So it ended, like I said, it was just the build. I loved everything, and then the end, it just left. That's why I related to a terrible relationship. Years and years and years of awesomeness, and then she's gone, and you're just, wait, why? Give me a reason. I don't know. I got to go back and watch that whole thing. It's loved it. Unfortunately, it is one of those shows that happened during the writer's strike as well, though, so it did get some turbulence. But
it's season 3 is admittedly the weakest of the entire series. Also, I just cracked my knuckles and I saw that it registered. I gotta see this if it registers loud enough again. I'm a ways away from my mic.
Yeah, you're the one with the mic. I got the headphones with the mic right at my chest.
And now my knuckles won't perform. I don't have enough fluid left in my knuckles to create the air bubble cracking. Maybe another time. But I guess to wrap it up about Wayward Pines, about what I really did enjoy about it. Here are things that I loved and disliked. I love Terrence Howard. I hate that his time on the show was so short, because I thought he was a very intriguing villain.
Yeah.
And that it was just kind of like, he loved ice cream. He was the sheriff.
That was creepy.
He was just like super odd about like his infatuation with ice cream.
Yes.
And it was just like, and it even like stretches into his like real life, like before the town. And I was like, ugh, you're a weirdo, man.
Yeah, he was the first one that I really felt that hesitation and sort of fear towards, just with what what's his name, the lead guy, the doctor, the scientist, what he was having him do. I mean, he took him from security guard to kidnapper.
Yeah.
You know, that is just terrifying.
Just kidnapping all of these people he wanted to have in his utopia.
Right, and deemed on what criteria as well? Just word of mouth? I mean, what is there a sign-up list?
When he tells Matt Dillon about it, he says that like he went after doctors who were the top in their field, and he like attacked people who were like societally worthwhile but weren't like famous or anything. It was all like a leading pediatrician or like the best dentist in a state. And like that's the thing was, is like he also talked about it where it's just like, it's like we were onto you, and it's like, yeah, you were on, like it was like you were onto me about this one thing, but it's like ultimately it wasn't your guys' investigation of my finances that made me have to go underground. It was the disappearance of so many people. And it was just like, that's a really intriguing concept of like, all right, I've taken as many people as I can take without getting caught and blowing the entire experiment. Gotta just go now and freeze myself inside this mountain. So, the only real questions I have is like, I know that he was in like cahoots with the American government. It's like, where are the rest of the government people?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, I figure that more government people would get involved in this, because they hollowed out a mountain.
Well, exactly. And you're telling me within 2,500 years, nobody checked that mountain? Nobody, I mean, no nothing, no scans, no anything. 2.5 millennia? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of, like, you can absolutely poke tons of holes in it. I'm not saying it's ironclad storytelling. Yeah. I'm just saying it was very entertaining.
It was. I'll give you that.
And that's where I fall on the spectrum of I thought it was great, was that it was just really, really good, and it was good enough that I could spend my viewer currency and not care that there were so many other things. The real, I think, part that divides us is the ending, though.
Yes.
You hated the ending, and I actually really liked the ending.
Couldn't stand it.
So to
flawed.
give everyone a little taste, basically what happens is the younger kids end up with the cache of the largest amount of weapons. They don't have all the weapons because everyone in them, like the adults in the mountain, have it. And the crazy Children of the Corn, Village of the Damned children have like AR-15s and all the water and all this food to siege out a war if they wanted to. But apparently, so do the people inside the mountain. The end of the show is Matt Damon dies. Matt Damon's kid goes into a coma. He wakes up. It's 3 years later. He's in Wayward Pines. Everything's the exact same as it was when like Matt Dillon woke up, except for everyone who's an adult is replaced by everyone in the younger first generation. And the kids are in charge now, and the psycho first generation kid is the sheriff who runs everything. And you see a bunch of adults strung up and dead in the square, and basically they somehow have course corrected and killed all the adults. Conceivably. We don't know. But that's how it ends, with the kid walking through the park and seeing all these other children on like a merry-go-round with dead bodies hanging from trees as a reminder to follow the rules. Enjoy, work hard, enjoy your life, Wayward Pines.
Yeah, never bring up the life past.
Yeah.
Or your past life.
Yeah, do not talk about your past life. There is no point. It is gone.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
I just didn't see how any of that works.
I mean, we talked about this before. I had thought that the people in the mountain just were sheerly out or severely outgunned. Because I'm also assuming that these first generation kids are also taught basically to be like paramilitary type crazy people. Because they're in this like weird high tech computer room with their candles and their whatever it is that they do in that room.
Albeit, I can buy into that, but we have no reference for it.
Yeah, I mean, but the weirdest thing is like when it comes down to it, there's like what 6 or 7 actual soldiers in the mountain.
Yeah.
And Matt Dillon is dead. I was about to say Matt Damon's dead.
Our motivator is dead.
Yeah, like their leader's dead, but like super cute Carla Gugino is still there, leading the way. Super cute Shannon Sossaman or Sassanen. I don't know how to say her last name. I'm just butchering it endlessly. Shannon Sossman.
I'm not sure.
I'm giving up. Whatever the girl who was I had the crush on her when she was in 40 Days and 40 Nights with Josh Hartnett.
Oh, yeah. But I know what you're talking about. But asking me to pronounce the name, I'm not gonna do any better.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not even try.
Yep. I'm tapping
so I don't
out.
know. At the end of the day, I think it's just that there were too many things to poke holes in for you to really get behind it. And for me, I just was enjoying myself so much that I didn't care about poking holes in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real differentiator between both of our experiences with the show.
To that point, though, I was still entertained, and I was surprisingly more impressed than anything that M. Night has done before. So,
except for Unbreakable, because Unbreakable's awesome.
Well, that one, and what was the other one that he had with Mark Wahlberg that I liked? The Mist? No, the plant one, the Happening.
You like The Happening?
I did. And
hate
me for it.
What are you
whatever.
Doing?
I don't care.
Again,
what are
you doing?
Entertained, man. I was entertained.
What are you doing? No one's gonna listen to our podcast after this. Oh man. Well, people are gonna have different opinions, and I bet you listeners probably have some different opinions. If you watched Wayward Pines and you loved it, let us know why you loved it. If you hated it, let us know why you hated it. If you're like, I ain't watching it because I don't like M. Night Shyamalan. I saw that movie Devil he made, and I ain't watching anything else ever again by him. Let us know that too. We just, we want to have a conversation with you.
Which one was
about
that?
Wayward Pines? Devil is the one where they're in the elevator.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Who's in 28 Days Later? Right? Isn't that the same guy? I think.
Who's Cillian Murphy?
I could be. No, I'm completely off. Probably. The selling point for me, or not the selling point, the breaking point for me with M. Night was the Joaquin Phoenix one.
Oh, Signs?
No, The Village. That wasn't Joaquin.
Oh, The Village.
Yeah, God, that movie.
Well, because Joaquin Phoenix is in Signs too.
Yeah, was he in The Village?
I think he might have been.
Either way, that movie sucked. I was like, bro, you could have. Oh man, that whole setup, you could have went there.
Joaquin Phoenix is in The Village.
You could have just kept with the monster thing, but you didn't.
But you didn't, and I hate you for it.
Yeah.
The end. The end, M. Night. Well, that was a fun little discussion. Should we do our pull lists for tomorrow?
Yeah.
The 12th.
It's a good day tomorrow.
It is a big day. It's a big day.
Finally.
You want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first. I think I go first the last couple times.
All right. Okay. All right. So, number one, these are not in any particular order. First one is DC Bombshells, number 1. It's where they basically did this pinup of all the, they did like 50 style pinups of like Batgirl and Wonder Woman and stuff. And it was so popular they decided to give them a comic book. And I'm a fan of a good old fashioned girl power team up,
Hell yeah.
As two of the books on this list will tell you.
Oh yeah.
Next up, we got JLA Gods and Monsters number 1. Just because, as I said, I was a fan of the Batman one-shot, and I kind of dug the Superman by himself and the Wonder Woman as an agent of, the government. So I wanted to see what the idea of those guys coming together would look like in the comics, so that's on my list for that. A-Force number 3, which is another girl power team. It's the all-girl Avengers squad. And, I'll read anything with Kamala Khan in it. I really will. Marvel, or Ms. Marvel, she's awesome. And this one, I think, this third issue is basically She-Hulk gets framed for doing something. Like, there's like a Hulk is caught like breaking the rules, and they're basically fighting the Thors.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit going on.
I put on Ghost Racers number 3 because who doesn't want to read about Death Race 2000 but featuring all the fucking Ghost Riders? Like, that sounds awesome to me. Like the new Ghost Rider with his souped up muscle car, and Johnny Blaze with his motorcycle, and like the dudes with the horses, and like all the different shit, but making them race across Battle World fighting each other. That sounds awesome. Also on the list, these are where I think you and I overlap for these two. Secret Wars 2099 number 4. As I mentioned before, anything 2099, I'm gonna read it, just because that's the kind of mark that I am. And then Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde number 2, because Kitty Pryde is arguably one of my top 5 favorite superheroes of all time, and who doesn't like Star-Lord? I also think this one it's her from Age of Apocalypse and not her from the first issue, and they basically meet up, and Star-Lord's like still in love with her, and she's like, I'm not that girl anymore.
Yep.
So something crazy happens. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 8, because come on, Squirrel Girl, dude. She's like the perennial badass of Marvel. She's beaten Doctor Doom and Galactus by herself. Like, she's the one. She's the one and only badass.
That's what it says on paper. Nobody's got any video footage. Nobody saw it.
Nobody's seen it, but everyone acknowledges
acknowledges.
As we may or may not know, I don't know if I've actually referenced it much on the podcast, but Doctor Who, The Four Doctors number 1. I fucking love Doctor Who. It's probably my favorite show of all time. I've got Doctor Who tattoos all over me. I love it. I'm preach the gospel of Doctor Who. So a brand new Doctor Who miniseries, absolutely I will read that. And my wild card last pick is from independent comic publisher. It's called Archon, issue number 1. It's about a guy who ends up going to work in a casino only to find out that the medieval themed casino, all of the stuff that happens in it is real. All the orcs are real, the dragons are real, all the elves and everything that are like happening in there. It's like a night at the museum, but it's a casino and everyone's fantasy medieval stuff. Sounds kind of neat. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but that's on my list, and that rounds me out for the week.
That does sound really neat. I'm going to have to look that one up. Yeah, with me, starting out, Secret Wars number 5, just everything awesome going on there. Going right into those that follow it, what's happening in Battle World and in Secret Wars. And on your list, A-Force number 3, Secret Wars 2099 number 4, Star-Lord Kitty Pryde number 2 you already talked about. And then for me this week, I'm gonna just dabble and dive into those DC books and see, because I too loved that the recent cartoon, the Gods and Monsters. So I'm gonna grab that JLA Gods and Monsters number 1, because those characters were very interesting to me. And then again with the Doctor Who, I'm a huge fan. I would put it easily in my top 5. I think I've never really fully done the, which one goes first, but between Doctor Who and Battlestar Galactica, I'm not sure which one wins. I'll get back to you on that one. And then other than that, Black Science has their 3rd trade paperback out this week, and I don't know if you've read that one at all, but Remender's work on Black Science is awesome.
I've not read any of Black Science at all.
It's super good, and the art is just wicked. The narrative is just incredible. I love it. I love everything about it.
I'm gonna have to pick it up then. If it's in trade paperbacks by now, then I'll have to pick them up.
Oh yeah, they're the Image ones, $10.
Yeah, that sounds like a solid deal.
These are 15. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That still is a pretty good deal.
Damn straight.
Speaking of trade paperbacks and speaking of Image, the last trade paperback for Chew, which is something we'll be talking about next week.
Oh yeah.
Is out now, which collects all the way up through, I think it's 20 of them, so 30 through 50. That's how they do it.
So did they put out a hardcover at all yet, collecting like 3 trade paperbacks?
I think they have a hardcover that covers 1 through 30, and then I think they're going to do another one that's 31 through 60, is what I thought they were doing for hardcover for Chew.
Cool. And that one's on Image, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they'll do the 3 books, yeah, so 15 issues per
So
hardcover.
those are kind of our picks for the week, and one other. I mean, I didn't put the Chew one on there because I'm all read up and I don't need to have the trade, but I'll probably end up picking one up anyways, just cause. So those are your recommendations. If there's any comics we missed that we should be reading, like Archie versus Predator number 5 or something that's coming out, let us know. Let us know what you're reading, whether it's comics or just regular books. We enjoy getting to see what you guys are out there looking at, and maybe we can expand our minds as well outside of the stuff that we're just addicted to buying, like Secret Wars 2099.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Star Wars 2099 because that would be sick. Because Marvel owns the properties. Like, boom, merge like Darth Vader with like Doctor Doom 2099. Do it, Marvel. Do it.
Oh shit.
Do it. Do the crossover.
Yes.
Find out that the Force all emanates from an Infinity Gem, and bam, Star Wars and Marvel exist in the same universe or something like that.
Mind blown.
And then we've got it all under control. A couple of quick, small tidbits. Matt Ryan, Constantine from The Great Show, but nobody watched it because everyone's mean to me. Because I like Constantine a lot, and it got canceled, and I never will get to figure out what the big twist ending is. But Constantine is going to appear on Arrow. So he's guesting this season on CW's Arrow, so we'll at least get to see Matt Ryan don the trench coat and magic one last time, if not more, if CW decides to save it, which could be cool.
Yes, and speaking of the CW, we also got Jay Garrick's Flash costume. Little preview there on the split wall. Probably, what do you think? Is that going to be the first episode, do you think, or just a little prelude to what's going to be happening this season?
Well, I think it's a prelude. They said they're going to go to Earth 2 like right away, so I don't know where Jay Garrick's going to pop in, or if he's going to run back in time and see him back then, or I have no idea how that's going to play out, but I'm super excited. I would assume within the first 5 episodes we'll see Jay Garrick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if we do know one thing, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think Flash Season 2 is shaping up to be just as awesome as Season 1 was, which is a great thing for TV-level superheroes. And not as good a thing for Ezra Miller, who, as time goes on, his shoes get bigger and bigger to fill as Grant Gustin continues to be awesome as Barry Allen.
Oh, yeah, they better get that out fast. Pun intended.
Maybe use some of the Speed Force on that. Let's see, other neat little things to check out. We'll try and toss these links on the old Facebook page.
Yes.
But Mad Max and Adventure Time have a nice little fan-made mix-up, so you get to see like a trailer where Lemon Grab is oh geez, who's Nicholas Holt's character in Mad Max now? Now I'm just gonna feel Nux. Lemon Grab is Nux, and Marceline, the Vampire Queen, is Doof, the Doof Warrior. So you should check that out. We'll have the link in the Facebook page. Let's see. They revealed the Power Rangers. The reboot's gonna be the original team. So
yep.
Jason, Trini, Kimberly, Zach, and Billy is gonna be the original team. I didn't see if Tommy Oliver was on there or not, but I'd be surprised if the Green Ranger was not included in the original mix.
I haven't been following much on what's going on with that movie.
I mean, was it the dude who directed not Power Rangers, but G.I. Joe Retaliation? Is that John M.
Okay.
Is that John M. Chu?
I did enjoy Retaliation. That was a lot of fun.
So he's directing it, and that should be pretty sweet. Also, apparently, this is completely switching gears, but Spidey is going to have a bunch of different suits.
Yeah,
in Civil War.
That's
apparently,
what we're reading.
So he's gonna show up as a kid in climbing gear, and then the rumor is he gets his iconic red, blue with black piping suit, and people are swirling the internet rumor around that he's gonna get the Iron Spider, which I think is gonna be totally bunk when it comes down to it. I don't think they'll do Iron Spider. I think they're just gonna not do it.
Yeah, the new rumor that I've read is he has the homemade, and by the end of the movie, Stark is handing him his uniform. Not the Iron Spider, but the blue and red. which isn't too far off. We've seen both Iron Man and Cap don 2 different uniforms in movies. I don't. It's not far fetched at all.
Yeah, I think I hope that is the answer that is to that question, and not Iron Spider. Because I think it's just too early, and I just don't want to have the Iron Spider. It's nothing against the Iron Spider. I don't want it.
Yeah,
this early.
I think you're dead on. It's for the reboot. It's for everything. All of this happening, and why Marvel's working with Sony. It doesn't make any sense to bring that in yet, especially when you're going all the way back to a high school kid.
Let's see. What else we have in the tidbit?
Well, keeping on that Civil War note, we have the rumors of the incident.
Ah, yes, the infamous incident. We can't say spoiler alert because it's unconfirmed.
Right.
Unconfirmed spoiler alert. Apparently, the inciting incident in Civil War is Crossbones decides to wear a suicide vest to go fucking fight Captain America, and he doesn't win.
No, he does not.
And Scarlet Witch levitates him above the city, and the bomb goes off, and it still blows up a building and kills a bunch of people.
Which is kind of believable in a sense. If we go back to what happened in Age of Ultron and the story that was told with her and Quicksilver and her parents and what they had to do, and sit there and watching this bomb just wait, that pressure of her having to not only get it far away enough from people, but also possibly diffuse it, could kind of conjure up those old, terrible memories of what happened with her parents. And ultimately, she fails. Thus, our big event, our big incident that sparks the SRA.
The Superhero Registration Act, of course.
Yes.
So, those are our little tidbits that we got going on in the world right now. If there's anything we missed, as always, let us know. Do you think they're gonna blow up Crossbones? Because I feel like Frank Grillo has he's really dove into this whole being Crossbones thing, and he's really, really into it. So I'm hoping that he doesn't, that it's not true, and that he doesn't get blown up. But I also can't say that I'm not surprised if he does, because he's totally a super small potatoes villain. So,
well, if Red Skull ever comes back, though,
it's true. Get the Red Skull and Crossbones.
No,
get them together.
I'm with you, and it's not believable. We watched Strucker's character go from an after credit scene to maybe 5 minutes of screen time in Age of Ultron,
and then murder,
and then gone. Yeah, so I wouldn't put it past them to get rid of Rumlow in the same manner. It makes sense in some ways, and in others it doesn't. But only time is going to tell, and unless we have another rumor that kind of backs it up. That's the thing, though, is the photos and the videos that have leaked for some of those fights don't really back up that argument or that rumor at all.
Because it looks like they're in a little open air market where there's no buildings.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what the play is going to be, but obviously visual effects can do what visual effects are going to do.
And you know all about that.
I do know a little bit about it. I do know a little tiny bit about it.
A little smidgen.
Speaking of visual effects, we have to talk about this. I think by law, we have to talk about it. I have not seen it.
What do you got?
So my knowledge is going to be very, very small in this matter. But that is the monumental flopping of the Fantastic Four.
I was going to ask you if you watched it, because we've talked about it.
I want to go see it. I really do.
I still want to, huh?
I do. I knew it was going to be bad from the onset. It wasn't a matter of it being bad that was going to stop me.
Yeah.
It's just reading the reviews from not Dead Ringer, but one of the Gawker sites is basically what I would rather watch them do is these kids make science projects. It's once they get powers that the movie starts to really suck. They're like the first act is awesome. The second act is like really rushed, and the third act doesn't make any sense because apparently Doom just comes back, decides he's gonna kill the world, and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta stop him."
Yeah, that's what I've heard essentially, is that there is no second act. It just goes from 0 to 100, and the 100 isn't even good. So I don't know what you expect. It's reading everything about it, the entire process, and I don't know if people are as plugged in as we are to rumors and spoilers and everything that surrounds that, but what I keep talking about with my buddy is that there is still a piece of this that is missing. The whole there's 3 sides to a story thing, there's this side, and then there's the truth, is the epitome of what we're watching with this Fox, Josh Trank, and Fantastic Four thing. So you've got Trank, who is the studio did it. You've got the studio who is saying the guy was erratic and non-communication, everything that surrounded that. So there's a piece of the story missing there. Whose fault it is, I don't really care. The point is you put out a piece of shit film, which is the now 4th reboot of a series. Yes, I'm going to say 4th and go all the way back to the 1994 film,
including Corman.
Yeah,
the Corman one where they fight the the jeweler, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm at a loss. It's one of my favorite families in Marvel. And even Fox has said after this that they're attached to the characters and they're not going to give the rights up.
Well, I think that they say they're not going to give the rights up, but I think that's just posturing right now because everyone blasted them for what they did over the weekend. And that was pull Fantastic Four 2's release date and give it to Deadpool 2. Because Deadpool's buzz is crushing hard.
Yep.
And its trailer is well received, and they're on the right path with Deadpool. So I think that they say that they're committed to it, but I feel like if Marvel came to them with a deal that they gave like Sony, I would not be surprised if Fox is like, fine, we're in, go for it, go nuts, you guys can run it, we'll make money together, all those things. My thoughts after like reading it and seeing the other Fantastic Fours is, the problem with these movies for me overall is no one understands who Victor Von Doom is.
Oh, yes.
Like they don't understand who he is as a character. They don't understand why he does the things that he does. If he's not like irrational and like crazy, where it's like, oh, I fell in goop and now I'm mad with power and now I want to destroy the Earth. The dude's not one of those villains who wants to destroy the Earth.
The furthest from it.
He wants to rule it. Like, so you have these moments where it's just like, it's like, oh yeah, Doom is gonna command the power cosmic and call Galactus to Earth and eat the Earth. I'm like, why? Why would he do that? He would call Galactus to Earth with a plan and steal Galactus's power and then rule the Earth with an iron fist. That's what he would do. He's also not, it's like they always make him this like really weird, like kind of twerpy dude. Like in this new one, he's like a fucking third scientist. It's better than being the blogger that everyone thought he was gonna be. But
yeah, but the rumor is that they changed that because of the backlash they were catching when it leaked to the internet.
So it's like him being part of the squad and just being the also-ran. It's like he's also there. Like that's not how it works for Doom. He didn't get powers because he's also there. Like he controls magic with a K. He's got magical powers and he has the suit of armor and he has relics and he discovers power because he's fucking super pissed that Reed Richards has like abilities. He's jealous and angry and he's smart and he's calculated, and all that he's been boiled down to is a dude who's angry he fell in goop, and then a dude who's mad that a guy stole his girlfriend. Like those are not his motivation. Like those are shitty villain motivations for like one of the marquee villains of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
It's super sad because I feel like those movies could be so much better. Like, look at The Dark Knight, built on the back of an amazing Joker portrayal. Could you imagine what a shitty Fantastic Four, like, if even the Fantastic Four was not good, like, thing having Jamie Bell's voice and, the dumb suits and all the whatever the fuck is happening in the movie. But if it was a Heath Ledger level performance as Doom, People would be lining up in droves to see this movie and talking about how it's being robbed for an Oscar. You could change nothing but have the villain be absolutely right. And in this, he just shows up and he does things for reasons. And, like, that's problematic for a dude who's super calculated and very important. Yeah. I also don't think anyone really understands how Reed Richards works either.
No,
at Fox.
They don't.
You know?
They have no idea.
They don't really understand. I feel like they don't really understand much of the characters. They just know that they do stuff, and they want to go ahead and grab people who are good actors and are really popular at the moment. Like, I could see them being like, Reed Richards should be Miles Teller because he was in Whiplash, and Whiplash is huge, and he's in those Insurgent and Divergent movies, and he's really popular right now. Let's stuff him in as Reed Richards because, you know, he's young and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like Michael B. Jordan, he's a great actor. Sure, there'll be people who are stupid and get all uproarious about, you know, the Human Torch being black, but that's because people are stupid. And, you know, and then we'll just have him go that route. But from what I understand, he's not the hothead or like the cocky, cool guy that Johnny Storm is. He's kind of like this brooding, kind of mechanic-y dude, which really isn't his. I feel bad for Michael B. Jordan because that dude deserves a comic book franchise to run with.
Yes, he does.
And like the one they do get is The Thing, because all he has to do is punch stuff and look like Rock.
Well, and then there's the whole origin of It's Collaborating Time.
Yeah, that is super bunk. The whole thing about his brother like beating him up.
Dude, I lost. That was the tipping point for me. I couldn't do it anymore. I lost it at that one.
It's like, so wait, his brother used to beat the shit out of him, so he says it when he beats up bad guys? Usually people distance themselves from their traumas.
Yeah.
They don't try and champion them. But I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know whether or not that's healthy or not.
Right.
I'll tell you what is not healthy, though. A $25 million opening weekend domestically.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it did 62 million worldwide on a budget of 130, meaning that this is going to be a colossal failure, seeing as the way it's supposed to work out is, you know, you get the budget, then you double it for advertising. So it had to make 260 million. It's gonna probably sniff maybe 75 or 80 when it leaves theaters, coming in at a loss of a staggering 180 million bucks.
If you could see my stink face right now.
Practically, I guess, you know, Fox says they're committed. So apparently it doesn't kill the franchise.
No. We love these characters.
It just stops a movie from being made for 4 or 5 years to put them completely out of the reach of the original Phase 3 plans of Marvel. So we'll see in 5 years for another Fantastic Four movie with an up-and-coming filmmaker who will get thrown under the bus as soon as possible. And yeah, so that'll be it for the Fantastic Four for now. Sorry, First Family, but it looks like you're going to stay dead in the comics and you're going to stay dead in the movie theaters. But I do not buy everyone being like, they're cursed. The franchise, there's been 4 movies and none of them have worked. It's like, there have been 4 shit movies.
Yeah, that's BS.
It's like that nobody has paid any attention or care to. But I do actually, I think I do kind of sit on the side of Trank and saying that the studio probably meddled a lot. Fox is nefarious for meddling. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they got in there and they fucked around and changed it up. But I think also the idea, though, is that if you enter in, like, this is the same thing that happens with, Gareth Edwards, after he directed Godzilla, was like, I loved making Godzilla, but I don't want to make another Godzilla. Because, I mean, he later changed his stance. I'm just saying he wouldn't do it, but he said he wanted to take some time away. Sure. Because you come from such a small production, like Gareth Edwards' movie that made him famous is a movie called Monsters, which he shot, he directed, and he did all the visual effects for himself. He bought all of the models and everything for his monsters online on Turbo Squid, which is a place where you can buy 3D models.
Whoa.
And he made his movie that way. So he had an incredibly small cast and crew, and his next project is Godzilla, the reboot of Godzilla. So it's like he ended up going from this ultra small, ultra indie, no budget to massive budget. And you know, when you have 150, 200, 300 million dollars, it's to be expected that the dudes who want that money back are there asking to make the choices that make them money. Like, you know, maybe we should change this up so that way we can sell action figures and t-shirts and shit. You know, it's like, your story's great, but we need to make money. We're not in this to show your art. We're in this to turn a profit. So I kind of feel like Trank probably got burned like that, where they're like, we need to make sure we have enough so we can get, you know, the Burger King cups for Fantastic Four. So make sure there's like a reference or something to, like, a flame-broiled Whopper or something. Write that into the script. I could see shit like that happening.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not going to say that Trank didn't fuck up either, because when you go into that deal, you should know what you're getting, because it's not going to be like, here's $260 million, go have fun. You know what I mean? Because nobody does that.
Well, not unless you Joss Whedon.
It's true, but even he had some resistance at first.
Yep.
with Avengers. And it was only until Avengers 2 where they even told him he had to cut his movie down, because that movie was 3 hours long. He was like, this is my movie, and they're like, nah, it can't be that long.
Right.
You know, so it's even when you're that successful, there's the reins come in a little bit. You know, the only one who's had complete story control thus far is James Gunn, and that's because he just absolutely crushed a movie that everyone thought was a failure waiting to happen. So
he crushes everything, though. I mean, go back and look at the guy's filmography. It's incredible. I love it. Everything.
His acting turn in Toxic Avenger 4, The Tale of Two Toxics.
No, wait, what?
You don't know where James Gunn got his start?
No.
He's a Troma guy.
Oh my god. Of course he is. It makes so much sense.
He wrote Tromeo and Juliet. That was his first big credit. He wrote Tromeo and Juliet.
Just insert palm to forehead.
Yeah, and he's in. If you have Netflix, go watch it. He's in Toxic Avenger 4, the alternate universe Toxic Avenger one. He's in that as like a teacher who ends up getting like toxic waste poured down his pants, and he mutates into some like dick monster or something happens. I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I was 12.
Right.
So, but James Gunn did that, and you know, I still hold in my mind that Slither is one of the best creature features I've ever seen.
I was just going to mention that film. Yeah, it's awesome. Everybody check that out if you have not.
Yeah, it's Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker, and James Gunn. James Gunn the hell out of it. So check it out. I think we did it. I don't know. Do you have more? Because I'm out of stuff. I'm looking through my notes, looking through my papers. I got nothing left. I'm all out.
I got nothing.
Well, you know, when we got nothing left, we could just sit here in dead air silence to pad it out forever. But we don't do that to you, because we're a team. We're all in this together. And to do that, we got to be on the internet. So we are on the internet. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/Evil Ice Cream Pictures. There you can find absolutely every single one of our episodes that there are. We are on SoundCloud, where you can find the most recent 2 episodes, and that's it, unfortunately. We only got room for 2 episodes on there, and same thing with the iTunes. So if you use those, make sure you listen to the old ones, and then they're going to be gone super soon. So those are the 3 places where the podcast are. If you want, feel free to comment or like or share any one of those. We also have a Facebook page where we have all sorts of cool extra content, and where we post all the neat stuff that we're seeing during the week that we're going to talk about, and we can have nice little engaging discussions. And that's just facebook.com/the best flarking podcast. So that right there, mother flarkers, is where you can find us and where you can stay in touch with us. Thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And with that, we are the
best flarking podcast.
Woo!
We did it!
Of course, we did it like sounding out our phonetics.
Right?
We nailed it.
Cue the stadium applause.
See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
by watching, I mean listening. Watching, listening. See ya.